Good evening everyone. Today I am going to explain this question of largest subarray with sum k, and today is day 9 of 15 days coding challenge of Harshita ma'am. And before I dive into this code to explain, I will first explain through my own solution. So let's see it. So as per the question, it says that we are going to have a array, like for example this is the input array. In that input array we have to find that particular sub array from that array which will have that sum of that k value, that whatever the k is given, that is the sum of the sub array. But if we are just giving the sum of the subarray, means it is means if we add all the elements of the subarray, it should give that sum element, that is the k element. But here we cannot return any of the subarray. We have to return the subarray with the longest size, that is the longest subarray. So this is the twist in the question, like we are not supposed to just generate the subarrays and just return one of the subarray in which if we add all the elements we are going to get that particular sum of k. Like for example in this question the k is 15. So like in this question we can see that like by adding 10 plus 5 also it comes 15, and also if I add 5 plus 2 plus 7 plus 1 it is also 15. And also, so here the longest subarray is this portion. So how we are going to do this part? So this is the draft part that I have built. So in this portion, this question have a kind of twisty concept, which is that if we have to understand the real life example of longest subarray with sum k, we can say that if we are going to a shop and we have a tight budget, that within 100 rupees we have to buy certain things. So like maximum number of things, and we are given a condition that within that 100 rupees we have to buy maximum number of things. So that is the real life application of this question, like longest subarray with sum k. So now this question can be solved like in a general way. If you try to think about, like if we just means before I explain the intuition, I can just say in two ways it can be solved. One is sliding window technique, one is prefix sum technique. But before I start explaining the each techniques, we need to know that what is the difference in between the two techniques, like how we are going to understand that which technique is for which scenario or which case. So sliding window technique is a technique where we are already given that suppose we are given a budget of something, and within that budget we are told to do the shopping or something like that. For example, in sliding window, the way we are given a window size, so we can relate that a window size can be the budget, and and whatever the operation then we are performing in the question, that depends. Like for example, if we have to buy certain products within that budget, then it could be a real life application. Whereas prefix sum, it says that, like in prefix sum it says that, for example, suppose we have to collect certain coins and we are given a value of k, that suppose we have to collect 10 coins, okay, 10 number of coins. So in that 10 number of coins we are going to collect each of the coin and put it in our hand, or we can say in technical term we are going to track the coin in a map, hash map, or the way we are going to summing them up, that is the prefix sum. Like let me show an example. Like for example, if we have, suppose in first go we got a coin of 5, so leave it, it is just first we get one coin, then in next step we got another coin, in third step we got another coin. Like this, when we are going to collect each of the coins, so what we are doing, we are counting the number of coins. First of all, we didn't have any coin, that is 0 number of coins we had, and this is that we have to collect 10 coins, right? So the 10th coin, sorry, if it is starting from 0, yeah, this, if the 10th coin is there, 10th coin, so we are counting each of the coins, and we are not only counting but 1 2 3 4, we are summing the counts. So this process of counting the coins in a map order is called prefix sum. And I could be wrong in some places. If there is any mistake, I will try to rectify it in the next part, because I am also little bit struggling to understand the concept of prefix sum here, because in this question we are going to, like, I will explain why we are going to solve this with, particularly with the sliding window, as it is the concept of the next question. So I will try my best to explain it in the next question more well. So we got it, the main theme of sliding window and prefix sum. But now it's coming, what is the question wanting? Like, this is the cases in the question we can have. Like, if the sum, suppose we want a sum of 4, so, and we are given and this array, so we can see that, okay, here the 2, 3, 4, if we add the each elements, probably this is the longest subarray we can see and say, because another subarray is this and another is this. So among all them, the longest subarray is this part. So how we are going to do the code? So very intuitionally, we first need to know that which kind of sliding window we are going to use. But first question can arise, why you are using the sliding window? Because here we can use prefix sum also, but why not? I will also explain that as well. The sliding window, in this question, what we have to do, we have to track the subarrays, right? We have to track the subarrays, and in that case, using two-pointer technique is one of the easiest thing, because we have to change the starting and the ending positions repeatedly. So in that case, we can get the intuition that we are supposed to use a two-pointer techniques here. And among two-pointer techniques, sliding window approach is kind of feeling like it can be a valid way. But in sliding window, there are two types of sliding window. There is fixed sliding window and variable sliding window. So which one to use? So as per the question, we are not given any window size. So if we are not given any window size, that means we cannot consider that it is a fixed size sliding window problem. And also just see, when we have to get the subarrays from the array for this maximum sum, our window size is varying. Like in this case, the window size is 3, but for this case the window size is becoming 2, and here the window size is becoming 1. Like for this case, in order to get this given sum that we are already given in the question, that is k value. So we can understand this is the question of variable sliding window. So this is one part also got cleared. But after this, now how to start the question? Like, we are not given with any starting index or ending index, like any sort of such window size or anything. So the easiest thing we can do is that we can take two pointers, one is start pointer and one is end pointer, right? And we can, where to point these pointers now? Let point the start pointer and end pointer at the 0th element. This is the first element of the array, that is the 2. For example, here I have shown, here this is the case 1. So here the start and here I have written the ending and the starting pointer is pointing at the 0th element. And now what are the steps that going to be here in the sliding window process? The step number 1 will be, obviously we have to initialize the variables. So let's see. So we need start variable, start pointer, which we initialized as 0 because we are starting from the 0th index. Ending is also 0 because we are also pointing the end pointer at the 0th index. Maximum, this will, maxi variable will going to track the maximum length of the subarray, and sum is going to calculate the sum. So all this we are going to initialize to 0. Now the next step comes. Let us first get the intuition why we are doing each of these steps. So first step is like we are going to iterate over the array till the end. So as we have two pointers, start and end, so obviously start we are not supposed to cross the end, so only pointer we can move is end, because it is the end portion, right? Start and end, like this a subarray should be there, and by common sense we can understand that end is the thing that is supposed to expand. Like if we want to expand a subarray, like, because many times as a beginner this kind of confusion do comes, like which pointer to move. So how to understand which point, how to expand or shrink the window, or which pointer to move in order to do that. the basic idea is that we always know start is the beginning and end is the ending. So if we want to expand something, we need to move the ending portion, right, the end pointer. And when we want to shrink an subarray, that time we have to move the start pointer. So this is the main concept. And so in the first step that we are going to do is that first we are going to run a, after initialization, we are going to run a while loop where end pointer will going to be less than the length of the array, because this is the till the end it will go, and length of array gives the from 1th index is give the number of elements. So but as we have arrays from 0 index, that's why we have put less than, not less than, equals to. And after we did the looping into the loop, the thing that comes, we have to think what we are next going to do. We have to calculate sum of the elements. So sum of the elements we are calculating, sum equals to sum plus array at end element. Like this is the code, this is the array name, nums in this case, and this is the end element, like whatever the end is pointing in this first iteration, that is the 0th element. And after we are done there, after we are done with this calculating the sum, we are going to have 3 of the conditions. Number 1, if the sum is less than the given sum, or if the our calculating current sum is equal to the given sum, that is k, or else if our current sum is greater than the question given sum, that is k. So in these 3 cases we are going to see. So in the first case where sum is less than the k, like our sum is the current sum that we are calculating in our this whole operation, if that sum is less than the desired sum, that is the k that we want in the question, so what we can do, we just have to expand the array, because we need, our sum is already less than the k, that is the sum we want. So we have to expand the array. In order to expand the array, we have to increase the end equal to n plus 1. So we can write it in short like this. In the next condition, we want what? If our sum is already now equal to k, that is equal to the sum we actually want. So in that case, we just have to check like how to get the size of the subarray now from the window size. So we can calculate the window size, because the window size will only going to give the subarray length. So that's why we are just here calculating which one is maximum among the maxi and the window size. This is the format to denote the window size, that is end minus start plus 1. And after we are done getting that, then we are again obviously incrementing the end pointer, because in each of the steps after one addition is done, obviously the next thing will going to be included in the subarray. But in this case, see, in this case, if our sum is already greater than the given sum, and also this thing also needed, because obviously start should always be less than the end, because that is the terminating condition. If start is becoming greater than the end, then that's the terminating condition. So start should always be less than end. So in this case, what we have to do, like whenever the sum is greater than k, that time we have to shrink the array, because sum is already greater, that's why it's no more going to give us the k sum. So in order to get the sum of k, we need to reduce the value, right, because already the sum is greater. So that's why we need to reduce the sum. So how we are going to reduce the sum? By sum equal to sum minus then array element at start pointer's position. And after we are done, then we have modified the sums. The sum we have modified like this. Now we also have to increment the start in order to shrink the subarray. We did it, and after we are shrinking the subarray, obviously as we are running all of this in the while loop, because in while loop we know the format of while loop is while in bracket condition, and then I means the incremental operation is always at the end of the loop, that is I plus plus. We have seen in the loop lectures. So this is an incremental line, you can say that this end equal to n plus 1, this sentence. This is for incrementing the increment so that the loop can run in the next steps. So after we are done with this, then we are returning the maxi. Maxi is just returning the maximum length of the subarray, and as I told, How we are going to get the subarray? We are going to get the subarray from the window length that we are going to calculate like this. This is the formula of calculating window length. So this is the code, and that is for today. First question of day 9.